So you're thinking about moving to Burnaby, but you aren't quite sure it fits your real estate needs. Well, you're in luck, because in this video, I'm going to break down the pros and cons, what it's going to be like living in this city right next door to Vancouver. And make sure to stick around to the very end, because I'm going to share some eye-opening facts that might change your perspective on what it would be like living in BC's third largest city. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about real estate, Vancouver, subscribe below. Tap the bell for notifications to be the first to learn what's going on in the current real estate market. My name is Megan Becker, local realtor, eXp Realty. Myself and my team get calls every day from people looking to make this incredible city their home. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give me a call, text, or email, and I'm excited to tour you around the Greater Vancouver area. Now let's chat Burnaby. Let's talk about the pros first. Number one is the convenient location. Burnaby is very central in the whole Greater Vancouver area, and depending where you have to commute to work, it provides very easy access to Vancouver, New Westminster, to Surrey, to the Tri-Cities area, or even over to the North Shore. You've got numerous transit options like 2 SkyTrain lines, ample bus routes. You've got the low-heat highway and the Trans-Canada Highway, making it easily accessible to multiple areas in the Greater Vancouver area. Number two, speaking of that, is the public transportation. So Burnaby is very well connected. You've got areas like Metrotown and Brentwood and the low-heat shopping area that are a hub for, you've got SkyTrain stations there, and they're very well connected. So if you are commuting to, say, downtown Vancouver, or you can hop on the Expo line over in Metrotown, and that's going to take you east or west. There's ample bus routes connecting you to all parts of the city. So especially if you live in one of those main central hubs, you can get by living without even owning a vehicle. I actually have numerous friends, couples, and they have one vehicle and they share, or they don't have vehicles, and they live in some of those central areas, even the Burquitlam in the low heat area, because you've got SkyTrain access there, and they don't have vehicles, and they find it super easy. You can get to all points throughout the city with the SkyTrain line there. Number three is the great schools and economic opportunity. Burnaby's economy is robust, driven by a mix of different industries, including technology, healthcare, education, retail, are the bulk of it, offering residents diverse employment opportunities. You've got schools like SFU up on Burnaby Mountain. You've got BCIT. Number four pro is the recreational activities that are available. You've got Central Park, which is very close to Metrotown, offering a wide range of activities from tennis to hiking, anything like that. You could spend a day in here, and it is absolutely packed in the summertime. Burnaby Mountain with another host of activities. There's tons of trails throughout the mountain. There's Burnaby Mountain Golf Course. There's some pitch and putts. There is disc golf as well. And you've got Deer Lake, Burnaby Lake, and lots of parks and nature areas that are located throughout the city. And number five is the diverse housing options that Burnaby offers. Step into any segment in the city and you're gonna find a different array of property types leading to a really different lifestyle. I've got a listing actually coming up just at the foot of Burnaby Mountain in Forest Hills. It's a 4-bed, 4-bath townhome, just over 2,200 square feet. And driving there, you almost feel like you're not in a big city. You're driving through kind of windy roads. You've got trees on both sides. You almost feel like you're kind of in the middle of nowhere. It is a very different feeling because Vancouver and Burnaby area is very densely packed, but you get an area like Forest Hills that is in North Burnaby at the foot of Burnaby Mountain, and you feel like you're in the middle of nature, but you're very well connected to amenities. So if you want that ability to step outside your front door and instantly be in the trails, that might be an area that is really appealing to you. And then you've got the other parts of Northern Burnaby like Capitol Hill and Wellington Heights that have these incredible views north to the North Shore Mountains, and then south it's up on a slope, so you're going to get this incredible view of the rest of Burnaby and the lower mainland. And on really clear days, you can see into the States and see Mount Baker. And then you've got areas like Brentwood and Metrotown and Low-Heat, the Burquitlam area, that are very densely packed with high rises, tons of amenities. It leads to a little bit more of a walkability. Like I mentioned, these areas, residents don't need a vehicle. You're very easily accessible by SkyTrain to get to the whole lower mainland. Then all throughout the city, you're going to find maybe older style homes mixed with new or renovated homes, but lots of, especially the older communities, you have a little bit larger of a lot, you've got these big tree-lined streets, leads themselves really, really well to families that want to raise their kids there. Okay, let's step into the cons. So con number one, it depends where you are, but Burnaby as a whole is not very walkable. I mentioned you've got areas like Metrotown and Brentwood and Low-Heap or Whitlam area. They are walkable, but a lot of the other areas are fairly spread out, which leads into con number two, is that these areas that lend themselves to that no-car lifestyle, they kind of feel like a concrete jungle. And I've had a few clients, we've toured those areas because they like the appeal of being in that because it's very well connected to the SkyTrain. These clients don't have vehicles, but we were touring properties and we were walking around and there was a lot of concrete, which is, you know, like that high-rise lifestyle oftentimes. That being said, there are some newer projects coming to market. In the pre-sale space, Concord Pacific is actually really what they did in Yaletown. That's what they've envisioned to create in Brentwood. And so Brentwood as a whole is a little bit newer of a community. So naturally it is going to feel more concrete jungle-ish. But their whole envision is to do what they did in Yaletown, which is a mix of this high-rise living lifestyle of just walking out your front door, going to eat, going to sit in a park, and having all of those amenities in one. That is really their vision of what they want to create. So part of real estate and getting in is being ahead of that growth. And an area that I'm actually really partial to is Whitlam because it's really going to be that next main hub. But in the meantime, if you're living there now, you're living in concrete. There's not a ton of walkability there and there is a lot of concrete. But fast forward maybe 5 years, that's when it's going to be a little bit more developed. There's going to be more park and more green space there. So that is one of the cons if you're looking at moving there right now. Number three is that a lot of those areas are very high density, which leads to lots of noise. So as with any major city, there's going to be lots of noise, but it's something to be very mindful of. And if that's something that you are very sensitive of, maybe we change locations, or we look for other parts of Burnaby that aren't as noisy. But there are a lot of main through roads, even in some of the, quieter neighborhoods, there's lots of through roads there that, especially if you have a family, maybe kids, you want to let them out and kind of run around, I'd be hesitant to live on certain streets that are maybe more of a throughway versus some like a cul-de-sac or something like that. So we just want to be mindful of the through roads, especially Brentwood, Metrotown, Low-Heap, those types of areas. A lot of the places along Hastings, it can be quite noisy with people, with traffic, especially in Brentwood or some of these areas. There's lots of construction going on right now as well. So again, something to be mindful of. So number 5 is the high cost of housing in Burnaby. So generally compared to the lower mainland, it is on the higher side. A single family home right now at the time of this recording, which is May of 2024, a single family property is going to be about that 2 million mark. Our MLS splits up Burnaby into 3 segments. Into Burnaby East, which the benchmark price of a single family home right now is $1.99 million. In Burnaby North, it's $2.1 million. And in Burnaby South, it's $2.3 million. A townhome is going to be around that $1 million mark. In Burnaby East and Burnaby North, we're sitting at the low 900s. And in Burnaby South, benchmark sale price is sitting at $1.05 million. And then if we take a look at apartment style condos, we're looking around that 800 mark. Burnaby North, benchmark sale price is sitting at $755,000. Burnaby East, we're sitting at $810,000. And Burnaby South, we're sitting at $820,000. So kind of gives you an idea of what we're looking at real estate wise in Burnaby. And when it comes to real estate, really kind of as a rule of thumb, the further that you get out into the valley away from Vancouver, you're going to find a little bit more lower of a real estate prices. Because people are paying a premium, people are paying for views, proximity to the ocean, to amenities like the mountains, things like that. Burnaby is a very established community with a ton of amenities and a ton of opportunity, and it's lending itself to reflect it in the real estate prices. So what's the perspective that I wanted to share that is going to maybe shift your perspective on Burnaby? Well, I always start my client consults with a conversation to get to know you. what are your goals? What's your lifestyle like? Because instead of focusing on an area or a property, let's first start with, what do you like to do? Obviously your budget is important, so I definitely want to understand that. But I want to know you. I want to know what your lifestyle is. Like, what do you like to do? Where are you commuting? What are the things that are important to you? Do you have a vehicle? Do you have pets, kids? What do you like to do as a family for fun? What do you like to do outside, inside? And all of these things. Because the more that I understand about your lifestyle, I can better match a property and an area that's going to fit that lifestyle. Because I always say, real estate should be a reflection of your lifestyle. No matter how cool the bedrooms and the bath and the kitchen layout are, if it doesn't fit the lifestyle that you're trying to achieve, if you love being in the center of everything and you want to walk out your door and grab a drink with friends and walk to coffee and walk, 2 blocks to the gym, and you're looking at properties that aren't conducive to that aren't close to any amenities, there's a huge mismatch there. And so that's what I want to understand. I want to understand what you're at, and then let's take your budget, and depending how those two match up, we might have to make some sacrifices. I always tell clients, my goal is never to tell you what to do, but I want to put things into perspective. And so sometimes I sit down with clients and maybe their lifestyle and the budget that they have doesn't quite match. So I always say, what are the non-negotiables? What are the top 3 non-negotiables that you're looking for in this property in your lifestyle? And let's start with that, and then let's figure out how we can best match that. And then I also tell clients, make a list of all the nice to haves, because it helps you prioritize when you're looking at things. And to understand, there might be some sacrifices that you need to make in order to get into the area that you really desire. But at the end of the day, having this conversation is going to put you in a better position to understand what sacrifices you're willing to make. Because at the end of the day, it's your decision, and I want to be there to guide you so that you are excited about your home purchase here, and it's going to be a reflection of your life. And 6 months, a year, 2 years into owning that home, you are ecstatic about where you live, the life that you've created, and also the financial investment. So I hope you got value from this video. If you're considering making a move to Burnaby or any area in the Greater Vancouver area, all my info is in the description box below. So please reach out. I would love to have the conversation. And until next time, I'm doing a marketing shoot for that listing that I have going live at the bottom of Burnaby Mountain. So I'm going to head over there and meet my photographer and film some content.